Well, that's how baby Edamuina was sister Emma Wachemo Makwa baby say Mofidian Ewan say Belgium on Adom TV multi TV. So or text message line here 1760 for brain na intimate jibre nyankenkan nyina emfa emma 1760 for brain na intimate jibre nyankenkan nyina emfa emma ma menka say eye enyumaku mienu Lucky Herbal Clinic Adarama and have a dependable herbal home. One of the Roman San Comoe, Yadi Bro, Inti Lucky Herbal, Yadebia than a crocodiles, one crabatang or tree, or my gun and man say, Unyabi or no do a nature, a year, and cry Hanum Siabun, Okoko Jabu, or yes, Yanis, Lucky Herbal or Kumasi, and so Takrade, Tema, Honyanano, Lucky Herbal Clinic, and so ever home. Sounds not dependable herbal home. One of the Nura Hodua Bejaswa, Ebiani de Eye, Edeboa, Nipediano, and make sure, say, Ene, so be in yawa, ne free ya dear, and Tibibia dancer, Konya Sabe Tohomawa, never to one more, and Tempa, and Chelsea Koso, and Coma Global Arena of Liberty, as a for more Bogoso, in Shemuda Cassiano 13th of this month, a basso, so paying for profit, or for Imuna, so Yachiamo. In himself Gusua, Mobile Pies from Kuma Belgium team, no, and a multimedia Jumekurin in Apostolic Empowerment Ministry, Mozumo Dansuman, so for paying Salasia die, Yakosu Damasi, Mojebre, Eshe Belgium, Bompaima, a Belgium team in a Damunina, Sasuna, and Shora Hodo, Imam Ahodo, Alaji Faudo, traditional worshippers Ahodo Inano, Yama Memo Muja Sunano, Mojebre Belgium. Yakoso damasi se bibibia etimiko kama ede mamo mama nkoso yi was to tribune say 1760 your text message line of Fabrain na intimate jibre enkenkan enfama 1760 na intimate jibre enkenkan ebedi nkoma fa ene enyam kania ni nsuo ho nsema hodo a etodwa sa pepepe na ebedi nkoma nso afa nsembia betodwa say Ghana man pays Excellency John Dramani Mama onkoje addition titru fa katasene proye emfi aman paying for ba kominu bi ehon the krakakra no ya boy rani patriotic party mu na ahwe enne nipa bi ma abeto ho say wono hyebre ye behwe ne enne ne aka eho asem mamema yenwa be ma lawyer benfo eye Mike Okwe Jr. Yamana Kwaba, you're surprised. Me am bold, you know. Uti you say, hey, Osho, lawyer Kwaba. You better come on.
Mr. Amache.
Yeah. Achedodo.
My film, papa, school fees in Semiana.
Are school fees?
Yeah, boy, Juma pay school fees kakrato.
I see.
I share near Masane at 2016.
That's not the need to school fees.
Yeah, oh, meaning, Madam, you may say, you bet take a year off next year. Until I was say Bobo school fees are not too. Unless you
that's a busy year for
yes, and Colano
school fees.
No.
I see.
Into no.
But what has changed? School fees is somebody then as they be out here.
Oh, and I make us and the she sign per se. They may try to say next year the year nye juma.
I see.
By ye mubino. Ye no ye nye juma na Bobo kakra no to.
Okay.
Na Colano co school. Na me so me can incompetence once.
Okay.
Na ina copy pepe.
Incompetence.
Incompetence of President John Mahama in the NDC government. Na ye boom, na ye ma Ghana for tiasie. Yes.
Competence and incompetence. Which one do I pick? Relating to Mahama?
I may say the incompetence of the John Mahama administration. Maybe ye can't incompetence ni twi mu no. Obi a ombo ne homodi. Inti no ye catch us all more homodi anya atem didie. Ya dia ye de be ma examples. To say, for example, me say umbo homodian, I didn't make us. Me say MPP for buy after 19 years of NDC, we were left with HIPIC. MPP for buy within 8 years, we were left with lower middle income. It's before said by now the NDC they call upper middle income, they call IMF bailout. Into no incompetence. Now why yes, issues based campaign and no na Ghana.
I see. So under the watch of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, officer, we are experiencing an incompetent administration.
Oh, not just incompetence even in economics. Incompetence also in terms of energy. which is the backbone of any economy.
What follow up by all the energy abe? Probably the share in common city. But what follow up by what kind energy was me and Namontua what to and she share the go aquemu and it's ready who ne a year I to show the Magana for say you want cause what train because I'm one manager to say that maybe a train be managed, you know. Rather the approach is going to be say yeah fixie Amagana for generation upon generation it may free sa kodan them. So why this issue of even under power some feel?
I mean yeah, say any NSA we no can asem and say be no san boa because me dey anka President John Mahama e can asemi. Na nka me so me dey aye na friend saying comparative analysis. Minya esi 2012 our President John Mahama by me dey remember just a few examples because we know ye bon common na dey train something one man so dey anache say ye be one-on-one interview JDM 4th September 2012 or say I have directed an interministerial committee chaired by Minister of Power with immediate effect to ensure that your power supply is not duly interrupted. September before 2012 election, on my promise being October 4th, 2012. On my promises to the extent say catching and say batch the April last year. Ama
Abedu.
Oh, maybe. That's how Abedu ground some of say. Abedu. Na eba ade na Abedu I fix ye no kra no. Ye increase utility tariff.
Facing the reality in terms of prices.
Reality.
I
mean, yeah. What is the reality? The reality is that there's doom so. The reality in Ghana is that there's doom so. Now, what?
No, but the reality is also that probably how they always ignore. Say over the years, we've not paid realistic prices for our utility services.
In the realistic price,
for instance, we pay increment and now these for utility agencies, and yet even anywhere near what they
are saying. Realistic price, because
57%.
One example, with regard to payment of utility, and it's animating. Omokache say, yentua extra money, so that the crisis will be reduced in terms of doing so. Okay. Intino, almost say, if you want doom so to end, then you have to pay higher electricity bills. Naminya, higher electricity bills are a bit triano. Ye sa last year, 80% okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, say last 2 years, crowd 150%. Has the doom so ended? Has the power supply become better? Okay, or more adverts. Meaning, so watch video Libya 2012. You say President John Mahama is going to bring 5,000 megawatts, and so okay, 5,000 megawatts, and network of a power badge about 225 megawatts. So, media, all I'm saying is that incompetence, media, say unborn home in India. John Mahama or your champion fine cry for their kinds, a boy moding, a boy moding, we and yet every say, can you catch us on my a program in your bomb moding on your
Nadia.
Oh, Nadia. And President John Mahama news on Nadia. President John Mahama, now by 2009, there was no do so. 3 years, no do so. Man, ye him say, mismanagement and corruption. Sikidie. Basa. It is Ghana also medical tia Sikao via Reno. Muntimintia. Meaning, I only say government of Ghana. Many will year 2 electricity bills am I know. When you saw what the ECG 500 million ka. Do you know that? The ECG 500 million government agency. So if you John Mahama, you owe 500 million, you cannot pay. Why are you increasing our electricity? Because the wastage and the siphonage is coming from you, President John Mahama. Most such a good example. Now the government, okay, ECG, no, they now, after the government owes ECG 500 million, ECG owes VRA 250 million. VRA owes Nigeria gas 100 million. What can I say? No?
Yeah.
Okay. 90 onkomu 500 million cra. Not just say Nigeria gas 100 million. You know gas is cheaper to fuel energy than heavy fuel.
Probably I'll give you an appropriate response there.
Yes,
you don't know what goes into the nuances of the presidency and its administration because you've never been there. So it's easier said than done. What do I know done you there? It been war and now TH now can I say KC. Now you have 500
Ghana. I've never been there. It means me in
Yes, I could have won now butcher why.
Me young catch us. Say me met me at Tuaba. I'm a be the president. Met me catch us or president now your own bomb. Obi any who coin so be catch me say me to me can say what president won't bow home because me the president. And I can say no President John Mahama. Emra na oye communication minister deputy. Ewa Rollins abemu. One can MPP for one. Or no John Mahama opposition 2000 to 2004. One can MPP for one. One can Kufo one. One criticizing no. Satan no a president. Or more opposition. Our the vice president candidate. Our own the president or vice president. One criticizing MPP. Satan no because say who born dog so nobody criticize the president. So can what can we in area need do mreso na Ghana for esusu wa ban ho o modern boa won boa if they all say the whole Ghana o man hin ntumi nkebi me ntumi nkebi omo hwe TV na omo to aba no omo ntumi fa omo kokromoti nkebi je Mahama je Kufuor and Rollins and the me ntibi da Ghana for the year penny say we yempe koka yempe nsema ye de ba be argument bia the pa ne say hwe wasitinem na fatoaba wa wo hwe ade we menye o menka se me nkreni te se me ana me agbeni se we ana me firi ha ana me firi ha enti betoaba no wo be hwe se economy no se na tie no e ofa ana e boa wo ma e boa wo yire wudwa wudi no sa na e wo se economy.
But that's my problem about transforming Ghana, changing lives.
I say kasa. Because how can you transform Ghana?
It's reflective. It's reflective.
With this exchange rate.
It's reflective. We guys all call Rich Hospital. We call
now Rich Hospital. What kind? The World Bank. You know. World Bank who say omu di chobu sika to so no. Say sika na was omu charging also no. NDC government for you. NDC government in kwano omu koye interchange. Now with this omu ka see interchange. I be to me see with extra road network bibia almost 500 million. Yekwade interchange 174 million. Ushe sa ne me na Ghana.
Not just an interchange.
They make kind of
say additions be
we see DDL contract. You see a BOT. We dey work school kakra. BOT a build, operate and transfer. Just say emreso a be Ghana government there. 2012 aso Ghana government there. Mu da ho akọ sign a contract. This time from 2 million, we had 3 million. 3 million no crown and can you sign it? 3 million, if the equipment in Ghana for the hour, staff in Ghanaian staff. DDL 8 your salary. Mukoye 3.6 million choboni year. By the time I didn't call Kutia, I done 9 million. Yen auntie who croma. You left for Papa Penny Moo on be explaining or see a minister no fault. Minister one employee no. And yet President Jomama. Ne ko kan say aden yes also we your saying na nipa ho wonfom so to err is human to forgive is divine sir na wo man hini say wo baby a wo ye djuma ha wo the $6 million budget e ko kan ho a kwesi twumetie say to err is divine to err is human sana ye go man intermediate sikedie basa sa togo na ye Ghana for hu omohwe intermediate me twa me nua pa something awo here ombra na ye mbo Ghana ho komo na Ghana for hu se hwe asem na aba no enye MPP NDC matters na ye ba beka what is affecting the kenke on the Ghanaian table, what is affecting their pocket, what is affecting their school fees because me say woni me yete in party politics is them instead okay 2000 we dey bon komo.
Okay, for viewers, team no just informed, I was something and Tiapo until unfortunately is unable to make it. quite unfortunate.
Oh, Omunya replacement.
So Mofanche, Abanasa, that is the news I have. The young first son was in Tiapo, until he couldn't make it. 1760 L text message line. He be come on your topics so, but we are part of the discussion for Adom TV 1760. A baby be so am so meti mini wedi and come over phone bra be friend 0302 21170 up to 4. And yes, here my enquiry commons. Good morning. All government appointees must be made to pay for their own water and light. Zion Wawa. And this was it. Please ask the management of Little Drop Investment in Sunyani for us whether they will come to work and give us our principal money, 450 Ghana cedi. In fact, some of us are, and if Ghanaians pay their bills, there will be no doom. So, and what's and what else about corruption? And probably share my first time a president. A year no, dear sister said Debbie. Sa keta shishani proye hon sima modi afam minima by hono die intimi enye nekre da. Let's touch base with that issue. Ghana is not second most corrupt in Africa. Mahama fumes. President John Mahama has rejected a recent Transparency International report that Ghana ranks amongst the corrupt countries in Africa. According to the report, the oil-producing West African country is only second to South Africa in terms of corruption perception. Mahama has described the media interpretation of the survey as false. This survey was wrongly interpreted as placing Ghana as the second most corrupt country in Africa. Mahama said at a high-level meeting on the National Anti-Corruption Action Plan in Accra, and I quote, "It is absolutely false, and for emphasis, I repeat, this is absolutely false. Despite all attempts by institutions that sponsored the report to correct this wrong interpretation, leading political figures have continued to spread this false impression." A quotation here again. "What can be the motivation for a section of our population to be so obsessed in trying to create such an undignified title for ourselves at the expense of our nation's dignity and our international image? I leave the matter to the conscience of such persons. It is sad to say many media networks, including our own respected National Daily Graphic, also ran along with this falsehood and got the entire country engaged in conversations that should never have taken place." Whether second or no second, the issue is that we are talking about corruption and how this administration, John Dramani Mahama, managed corruption under his watch. Mike, Mamimuza, under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, NDC, Ufise Nyama Faketashani Proyeho, and Amontu Omotu, very, very encouraging, and my hope, say, it's being managed to the barest minimum.
First of all, I may answer text message we will be the buy. Now, say, if Ghanaians will pay their bills, there will be no
doom so.
I'm saying, oh, Ghana. Am I oh, electricity? No, would you have a prepaid and a bill?
Prepaid.
Into Ghana, no, yeah, no, you try electricity in the crowd, ECG and some of the electricity. Am I? Wouldn't say a very good business. So, who's a sudden a good business?
Because on Sankai, about what you
your friend of pre-finance. Pre-finance.
Uska.
It's easy there. Yeah, the imagine in advance. I can't government there. Omunomuntia. Almost set example Bonnie ama Ghanaians. Into Omuntia 500 million at the last count. 500 million. Now the Saka we now untia ECG. Na musi enya mudai intermediate survey you send a text no ebia on tiase inti me explaining chair no inti mon send this text message ni biom ebia na why confused before. But corruption utie we no live,
yeah,
say your mama say I refuse it,
yeah.
So say Christopher Yadibi no I refuse it in Jesus name, yeah. Just said Tosiaka. Even cried Nigeria for no more year BBC.
Uniform tissue, sir.
Say, then I'm kind of. But I would have kind of be. Oh, Nigerians. We be on movies, they be home.
Yeah.
Into your mama, it's as here. Now, him say, Sana, you refuse to do so. Toshiakwa, and Pare. Said that one. Second best way in the and can Pare. But President John Mama won't have father.
He disagrees, but you have any religions on the ground.
Now, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. I don't know your saving. I don't know your saving. And I expect him to disagree. I expect President John Mahama.
But genuine disagreement, what is your problem? Genuine disagreement. In fact, he moves ahead to say directives of the MMDCs, MMDAs, no, and no is what Chelsea NGG, ASC cabin free as on time.
My only because Mansira Mesum. Unimedia. And your President John Mahama have directed ministers of state, then they do so bendy. On the video, no my direction. In fact, I remember I was on a program once. Last year, the name is Adiko Kanotia. And I'm saying, as for President John Mahama, all he knows is I've directed, I'm about to. The odd dream of crown to catch him. I'm thinking that Oman his child should go to school. Oman is a old dream say about school, no interest school, school.
That's all chia.
Also, chia. It say my direction. Now one year who be here. All my direction say about drive and find a now in school fees. Says ya question kwala ya pamomo exams. So they say a list of your fraud the no classroom. The fraud the na Ghana na pamo free classroom because we are second most corrupt. Now why are we surprised? Na even on one office, Flagstaff House, presidency. They say we are the most second perceived corrupt institution in the country. Another survey, another rating. Or no, dear, and now I say, a fee, second, John Mamo, good, a fee, another UNESCO, almost see the whole world in terms of defecation. When you defecation, baby, I cock toilet to a bontini niama, cholera, a fee, Ghana, number 2. UN, and a UNESCO, almost some bois. Oh, dear, baby, I have Bonnie, where is secret last year? Ghana was the second worst exchange rate performer in the whole of Africa. Okay. I didn't know President John Mahama who said on in Kwalebi Nekasana about 2 Anyegu Yenia. Now, they be.
But the fight against it. Attorney General Trokrata said, as soon as you're binting, Yayan Shishe, move from Sika, Ubetiano, President Kai, said by close of this year. A KBA CCG free pay more wrongful payment to be no. Demonstrating enough. No, demonstrating enough.
And confirms
that. But demonstrating enough that this is what I want to
Omani, one thing I respect about you, once a journalist be brewa, Omunimo Widuma. Into one who ye be a friend of devil's advocate. It also besame questions are yet the flip side. Into where beside you good. Now, the audience also TSS was so to me my the 2 sides of the story. Now, my answer to your question. Into the website, they are good. Say, on no feel say we're born a home. There's no problem. President John Mahama or Yenipa. I said, Bema, what could see your baby pay? I'll not share them. I'll ban a can say one more home or boofu. So, medium me bomb home. Or ban a name say on it 3 and a umbo home. Ghana for him say economy dear MPP Adiamo Kayo bank loan. Omani wow tie we nyin kakre. Catch and kwala no maybe 18 say na bank for HSU for loan. Gas no mukuta no mo gas. Say do you want to fill your gas or do you want to fill your gas? No me buy in fee me boa. Catch am because we won him we dey 18 19 or starting we asking chair. Into President John Mahama on the campaign is on no share Lacoste into a young man, polo shirt, and so I'm a young president. Or by an of say they be a young dear president because so why wouldn't there cause Ivory Coast? Ivory Coast. To say San Nanado or starting 42%, or Kunya 70 something percent, if you're being 92%. President of Ivory Coast with this 74. na edwuma ho ye wa Ivory Coast do ho say Nigeria dey wati almost 70 something president obaye or say no nonsense here. You corrupt, I catch you. You corrupt, I deal with you. Now President John Mahama, you know ankasa. Now by him.
That's a hard in the picture who painted on Pawi. As if say buying an amontuno. It be crazy or cry.
That's so any or mine.
But which one you need a pepe or sir?
Oh, and that's how. But one will say the kind of sports no bonkalas no. Bonkalas. Just say too low. One will say if the performance is bonkalas performance. Too lower. Any day, okay, a mid-ranger. If you are lower middle income, no better 2 years, no. One fan call higher. But when maintaining lower middle income, it's see the big. John Mama, you shouldn't maintain this. You should take it higher. And no crowd, then we can say something. But to bring it down to IMF bailout, virtually HIPIC levels. So what is this? I said merry-go-round.
Probably as a result of how most people actually more.
Within 2 years.
For instance, energy. They always raise that argument that you initiated, but most of the projects or more energy sector, private participation, Juma and Amontu, Power Baji, Abedu, Asogli, Weira, Wefa, Wesi, and Tinan Kemfuano. Even SS. Namia don't create teams to be a firm union. Is it not enough demonstration? So by Bonomodi.
Let's start with what we left them. When we left them with an economy performing at 8%. On one of Troy, book okay. They don't do for Troy, they call World Bank. Okay. 8%. Okay. And as the country was going higher, we also left them with oil. So based on the oil and the 8%, within 2 years, they got to 14%. Okay. But the air me say me dey two enim because ebi audience we dey be ameka ebi mo ha omo nim especially young ones no omo kai MPP because 8 years long ago.
Yeah.
8 years long papa obi a we di 18 or 19 now no satan we di 11 inti ebi on kai ye di name bi bring ani so aye propaganda 14% no and then accord down to 4%. Now who cause them? It can't be MPP. Because MPP left them on a trajectory. Bruni Beka say on an upward climb. MPP you buy near 4%. And then they call ya what was that graph? I have that graph. A kwa na kosi. And a NDC and they call say no jabasi. Okay, Koko. MPP. So this is Koko dia in 2 years. Minimum 5 to 10 years. Okay. Ye jaono 700,000 metric tons, highest ever in Ghana's history.
The projection was 1 million.
So, what can it tell? 700,000 at the core year 2008. By 2010, what did we have? 1 million. Okay. And now kind. Why? Because the foundation has been laid, the cocoa tree has already been grown, the cocoa tree has already been sprayed. 5 years now, I started. Into all the end, say, young conquan, na Young Konkwa na oko high. Sisi cocoa production about 650,000. Now who cause them? NDC. Now power. Yeko yeja many others including Bui, Zakem. So and so when you say most of them no funding no to the extent that President John Mahama Kraka say Musiana Omakajino 41% a be free MPP time. Because we secured that funding for those projects. Okay. We secured the funding for the projects in energy and started some of them, including Buidam. The only difference is when you buy every review Buidam no. Block are not yen time. A year 1 city no. It said you kitia at the man Bui for 3 cities. Okay, at that time you say iron rod blocks. Or no, a board member of Buidam no. I think board chairman Krano. He was allowed to have a contract to supply blocks to Buidam. Is this not conflict of interest? At twice the price? Is it acceptable? Is it acceptable? It's where we are. We know price no and cut 2 times. We are winning. It's say Omobeka say yena yanye bibi in the beginning. Entina omobrene de eyentro because the first 3 years no there was no do so. So all you have to do was to maintain and make sure that there's no more doom so. It's going to be anye.
Okay, 1760 Michael Quay Jr. and I want to say thank for Samson and he became so unfortunately Yadia Jubia intimacy and no coin. I did trade and wish him a speedy recovery, but get interactive 1760 or text message line. A lot of you so the Neoma Baba my main car saying you make cool way and I saw you say dependable herbal home Adom Co capsules and then a mixture Adom mixture Adom Co ointment. If you want to check on so Kumasi K&G Herbal house over home Danny Herbal, Colinac Herbal, Tachimanarike Herbal, Takra so Nimdia Herbal and AMS or Takwa and was a bibidru fee so Brakatu Herbal, Kofojo also Gapson Pharmacy, Delight Pharmacy and Afeso and Mikus Pharmacy and Nagisa Pharmacy. Fred 0272 220 222 and 0242 505555. Sanso na me bon kai say lucky herbal so gusua ona so ya say e kwanso nkoso ya de bia da ne kranko da so bia no fakodom lucky herbal ya on bebo e wo akwanuasa nyina so probably will move quickly into the new patriotic party na omai nyoma bia AC nyoma bia yete the kwewum na yesu asembisebi horma yemusa no but said my catch on apart from being interactive via text message you know in the next 3 minutes, ebe bia ngomana to na so abekan ho o asembise bi o fo ano so o susue bia na o de abre so ajibre na eyi wano e wano say in the next 3 minutes phone lines here 0302 211701 up to 4 0302 211701 up to 4 minute nyensa entem enye sisia Michael Quay Jr. Michael Jr. Probably Ukuta Al-Hajj the Obakata. They weren't even know, is that correct? Answer my question for NDC to MPP to decide fate of a Japan crab today. Al-Hajj said Cabinet Japan suspension suspended. Is that correct? But prior to that, Enra, is it correct? If it's Enra Ablekuma press conference be Nama Basa party noted for say Monji the dissenting opinion and to and I said what's really happening to the party.
Okay. Sounds 79 come once but never patrol and one story way NDC youth on rampage.
Correct.
Intia then na media no NDC omoko ye san tokwa we ehiniema watamale
it's been reported. Daily Graphic it's been given attention.
Daily Graphic.
It's been given attention.
Daily Graphic.
Yeah. Daily Graphic has been given attention. NDC use intervally central rampage. No, you can new patriotic party.
You know, I can say it, you know,
and then a new patriotic party.
Graphic.
Who are challenge talking about new patriotic party? What is the challenge?
Let me challenge say and no. Anka send a Daily Graphic MPP ni no. Enim
That's all.
Nanka ya kan.
Oko asenibia. O de ni ema eye temwa for. Oko asenibia. Okay, fine. You be just but oko asenibia. Oko asenibia. O de buo matemwa for. It would be bedroom. Bedroom say and then the person
a champion journalist but just a nepa there because usually no
it is not the best but the more we keep talking about the new patriotic the more we keep talking about the new patriotic
and the more we should talk about NDC
the more it should come across to you say people see that as somewhat very alien to my lifestyle. It's just because of more yes and
I'm saying
but unfortunately we are unable to discuss the NDC use in Tamale Central. But what is happening in the party?
DBT. The American say, my interest here granny to be born community. The American say, no. Yes, we are there.
It's been given attention. It's not been discussed.
MPP NDC. You party matters in Ghana.
No party matters. And yet this topic specifically.
I never MPP as because
because no man call your party
no other NDC never call your
no man call your party
we must talk on media matters that are in the papers and then the BIS MPP the or graphic in Tebeka and then so NDC or graphic in Tebeka and I'm say my
so discussion no, discussion.
There was some assurance because we need assurance now.
Discussion. So we are able probably for the time in my whole discussion. The topic is that no crescent and the party decided
and Israel say Tamale youth our motion yama NDC youth no. So when my account kakra Mr. Bemede Pacho.
Okay, you for in example. Hello, good morning. Upon saying 2 p.m. Good morning. Upon saying good. It's here 2 p.m.
2 p.m. ni Masomo was Santiman the champion deputy NDC youth organizer honorable mo. Honorable I say no doji. Fene abani di. Fene aba eni ese wo hwe enema ekoso wo MPP mu na de bia meka say MPP right now no they are condemned to no maintenance share o man ese Paul Afoko ya man indefinite suspension na kwabena Japan on the man 15 months dientia busa honorable member na mame say dientina nipa me no aya ade yede Paul Afoko ko gina ho no on the man indefinite and ne be frɛ no tete ne be frɛ no tada be ne be frɛ no me 2 pm nim na kwabena Japan ko ade ono ko ade and dey see man 15 months
okay Jina 1 minute honorable Michael K Jr. Is that the reality on the ground that kwabena Japan has been suspended for 15 months?
Oh Debbie.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's it. Young coach honorable series. Honorable series, good morning. Apom to say. Boko etio.
We dey Manchester you be quiet the crew for you na o ma he em say na wo person bi cha MPP ni na sam so o person shift to tell me that was how we MPP mun the same thing we NDC mu won sa say NDC we but ya even sorry kwa ya ukomu na sentindi wa chite but MPP before yen enye emwo man no ayu enkanko yeah, we are some Jaya come on them. Yeah, the MPP for air force or main moon. On that to me, when you try blame shifter now, that's all shifter.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Ashavin, good morning. I hope to say.
Good morning, I'm in the saying.
Boko.
No, my name, but tell you so. I don't know MPP for paying for me to a mom one another panel. Okay, okay, MPP classes and a mom petrol the car. Maybe that say, yeah. But I tell my mom, I Japan call for the thing. I tell because to you now to us suspend you will be 18 months. Many of my say, who crowd not to you who are there all day. Sometimes, so me and Fabi are not credit to M2. Yakoto Obama and I eat Uncle Paul with Japan for a focus. Nana to Obama, you know. Who's that to question a normal question? There's another crowd at this war because on I war leader want to be drawn country. That means I throw a sack of crowd and I'm ready to
David. Ben, good morning.
Good morning, my name.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Sefi, mine.
You too, Ben.
I'm saying you're on a bonecano. Odikapa, Yaka, and to customer chain. It's NDC Diaba. I say, it's Mika and this one. Now, yeah, the NDC and a chain. The BR MPP. If you say any sport, I say it's Mika and NDC. That's it.
Yes, sir, that's it. Clement, good morning. I hope to say.
I'm not more mine.
Meet you. Yamiadum, meet you, Clement.
But I'm prepared. I take question.
You too.
But sir, suspension was no more. And this is 40 years old. If you are back, he said, come to one car. It's a more council once. Then MP can.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. You bet me for me and Sans Sosnafia back to Michael K. Jr. You know, good morning. Upon to say. Yamiadum.
And this government really encoy the very normal. So many things. Any use every school after 3 to 4 years. You man idea any other science. 2016. Mahama only for.
All right, yeah, that's it. Ebenezer, Benya Media Bedunye, upon to say. Good, yet Ebenezer, how can I free? Yet Ebenezer, Brekum na. A parenting a fear about San as a dainty.
What's your parenting about?
As if fear about Honum to the Brekum Empire.
Oh,
there will be dear. So say a bad neatness, dear. Okema and Kagana acquired and Kaya candy for. It did dear Namas I seen ton about.
Then I made just a little a man is Zenubia. You see, young name of a power company.
Yama Bola and many.
I see. It's you.
Michael Kay, because I said, I can keep in some natural. Nothing, I don't be because of it, then it's all Moya. Young come to be. And then the MPP, I never saw person so many Munyaneko from that. And this is easy for why you are. The best woman I can easy for the day.
All right, let us see. Come down, I'll chat to my chair. Name, as you say. You.
Me say, Master, me say. Oman penny say, corruption in Ghana, and Jema, Yan can't want them. Now, when names or no one can office, Yan fa a word cup for Mokoi, prime example, Elvis Ankara. The way you need to ask Anthony show office. You can't corruption once I was a bobus you. Eh? Or my to memo no man penny would be a name. You can't corruption, provided can't of course memo. You can't want a man, was here bomus you. And to wait today, one didn't in corruption, and this will come once a man. I just one cassa no one could say prison. No, a phrase, we can't hold as much as much as you from number. Okay.
All right, yeah, that's CP, Yadvisia, 80 for be a lot of you, over some of the margin chair, Yadama CP, say, Brivia da Munya Bejamodo, now over some of the margin chair, a brain. Mike, you're training up on the New Patriotic Party, Nyoma SCC, very unusual, especially the criminal, these personalities are fit. Going to be decided today.
When you have a media, say happy to Bonnie in Antofa. Starting with the MPP. Yes, apparently, I mean, say disciplinary committee, my recommendation about community upon the Sami crab. And then neck Asia, Omushia, decided say, suspend your man, almost suspend your man. That decision, MPP has a right to decide to suspend its members or not. Is not an issue for NDC members. It's not an issue for them to come and discuss. Why? Are they almost suspending the power? Yanka. Sam George almost suspending. Namwali almost suspending. Almost suspending Kofi Adams. Say it, Robai. MPP and suspended. Your friend is saying, "Won't me." So you say you're suspending, won't me? Or you're chairman of Busum, you're suspending, and now a regional chairman. Josiah I, General Secretary of NDC, almost suspended. So if we have a problem, now in Pennyfua, I don't see why the long matter. Because any suspension, they may be winning election. Any party problem, they may be winning election. And you're the candidate. Nanado, Yan Constitution, flag bearer, only who coin in Cranibeka, a behigbe. A behigbe. Ake ibayi MPP saniye MPP meeting. Nanado on to me frame meeting. Nanado on to me can't in penny for. We didn't penny for what display committee oh. To say abukufo no mo, in penny for sano or no. Nanado on to me can't romo. The ombe suspended. He cannot. He dare not. 2. Neck. Okay, National Council voting no. Okay, say Nanado will vote to be. Na saa 17 penny for ama buzia no nyina omo display committee no ono Nanado na beka cha ama buzia se ne ama buzia ne na kwala so na meche no so the party we know share 2000 maybe ti obi ti say Mr. Rekubrobe na o condemn MPP a na masre so okay yan kan kwala ne biom okay 2000 enye Rekubrobe no si kufu echi ko form UGM no
yeah
ono Ofiyechi starting years ane manache. And Ofiyechi ko form UGM. Yen winnie. We won 2000. 2008, Obera Samuel Francis CM Bidzidin. Those who don't know history, they left the party and formed the new party. And then Tawantawa suspension po.
DFP.
They formed a new party, DFP, as you are giving them now. What happened? They lost and they won. MDC won election. Because Ghanaians don't look at that. Ghanaians say they almost share presidential candidates in their way, and your party. And when Ghana knew about Okosha Afoko in him, and I community for him, and I Freddie Blaney. Or she said, Nanado Danko Kufuado. The one who say, Nabe de Cheba, Yamu Beden. Obe sisan ya brabo. And then Nanado ebe to amount. 2012. Osankai. Because Obi Waha and we did 18. Now we did only 12 then, okay? Nana Kunedu Ajimai Rollins, the wife of the founder of Kofomo no party, is free NDCH. Ome winning. So what are we talking about? Say MPP could talk until win election. Omo koso under the the Ghana for share share was sitting na to aba. Ghana for share say hippie come back 2 year no. And then no adane lower middle income. And then mine a day IMF bailout. It's no issue no. And I want to assure Ghanaians said Nana do Danko Kufuor no. He doesn't have any say even to call meeting MPP. No. Now when we say Nana do cry echo can't say yenya affirmative action wa party no. Okay this year. Echo for call this year call demonstration. Ekuta plaka Nana do yempini o yempini. And Nana do issue press statement say Makan Sadia will review it again and see. Now Nana do can't say I'm the flag bearer if I make a decision it is there. Akaba now to ho. Sure? Yeah, Bukudamu. Yeah, ne vote to mark Kobde Japan Bedi General Secretary Nambwa. Is it not MPP members? So what's the problem? Is it not the same MPP members who voted for Mr. Fuku? And those same people who voted, their representatives are saying that because of ABC, which we do not want to bring to the public, they are suspending. Me agree. But who agree? The party has decided. We go with the party line. Sani ye kuo. Na se ye be impeachment ah. So they say Ghana for you na neto aba. Emma President Mahama. By be impeachment ah. Is it not only parliamentarians? Is it not only our representatives who do the impeachment? No, we have a case ye na neto aba ye na na impeachment. What be that? Omo mu represent here no. Aye NEC and National Council. President Kufuor omo no mejine mama. Iti mo amunti sa anyeme ase amo keka kan ya mo pe no. Ana obu se MPP for ye pese ya obroni waka so pese twa hene ma we nim nyafe. But nyeme ne bi wo ha. Wo a wonti ase no. At least fa obuo masa mpanimfo ni na o makọ gada ho no. Se omu nim bi omo ye. Nanado, I can tell you on authority today. If you are left to Nanado alone, there may not have even been any suspension. Because Nanado no, so we name the personality. Nanado, on person who are there Robert and say Jayo. And now news idea on Nanado. Nanado is a peace-loving man. Or you'll be a name, maybe, oh, are you sure? Okay, you just leave it. Now, party benefit say no. You leave your chair. You leave your charma, Obi Kreu. Chairman Adams has died because of misunderstandings and party infighting. So we are going to take decisions in the party. Nanado is not a member of the disciplinary committee. Nanado did not send a petition to the disciplinary committee. In fact, anybody who attempts to blame Nanado is rather being wicked and mischievous.
Any attempt.
Any attempt. Because NDC ni no esa. MPP ni bi obeka say Nanado no. Either see on politics I say ana oye wicked. Because Okaya onu Nanado na nkasa no on to me nchire the MPP for vote man. What is that? You know that?
Yeah.
Because Nanado was going to show who is going to vote for anybody. Some people will not even be there. Nanado cannot determine. Nanado gave some of those officers who today are being suspended money for their campaign. And they began to it's a new story now. Men now na NDC for can now MPP new KB. No, don't allow NDC to set agenda for you. Now, NDC for the anymore. Omodi en tokwane is a moody. Ye amo musenu. And no violence. NDC for your camp violence.
NDC now come.
Yes, NDC. Violence. Now, and then you be near. Tamale almost graphic front page. NDC sound motie. Our party is starting with coup. A starting soldier. A starting tokwa. A starting a bro. Omo share ma. Ade kade Francis here.
Right. No.
Oh, they be all right. That's not the right. We are. Oh, my man can't change Palani be.
Michael Quay Jr.
Omo to be the Koboko e boom ma.
He didn't know
Mo soya.
Gawo.
Oh, I know the nickname. Into the media, the American say 2016 by January no. Now campaign team ni launch it December 19th. January 1st no.
Okay, so CP short notice Badoji Bre Everkan one Edasipa. Almost something so wish you a speedy recovery. Nyame admire Jerry said that send over betina sama ya twa. Yeah, very unfortunate. Lucky about not dependable for Damina so ma say me pagya me mu ama na ya abre for the fisem atwa so e de ama o make I say countdown till Christmas ewo ho and afa New Year so enti bibia wo ye bia no tutu anamo ACCA etimu 2016 pregnant with a lot of opportunities and a lot of privileges and blessings enti start grabbing. Me don't mind come na stand nyame fa china nchen ne nsa mehia